In the boundless tapestry of the cosmos, speckled with stars like grains of sand on a vast beach, humanity has not only found its way, but has also claimed it as home. The year is 2474, and the human race has extended its reach across galaxies, establishing thriving colonies on distant worlds, each a testament to the indomitable spirit of exploration and survival. On the fringes of human-controlled space lies the colony of New Haven, a beacon of hope and a symbol of human tenacity. Nestled on the edge of the Orion Arm, New Haven has flourished under the nurturing gaze of Earth's guidance, becoming a hub of culture and commerce. But this peace is shattered when an unexpected threat looms over the horizon. Without warning, a coalition of alien races known as the Krilzar Confederacy targets New Haven. Their ships, sleek and ominous, cut through the void of space, casting long shadows over the colony's vibrant landscapes. The Krilzar, a formidable alliance of species known for their strategic ruthlessness and technological prowess, have long viewed the human expansion as a plague spreading through the galaxy. To them, New Haven is not just a target, it's a statement, the first domino to fall in their grand plan to curtail human sprawl. As the alien fleet surrounds the colony, a palpable sense of dread descends upon New Haven. The colonists, pioneers who have braved the unknown and faced countless dangers, now confront their gravest challenge yet. Communications with Earth are jammed, leaving them isolated, with only their resolve and limited defenses standing between them and the alien onslaught. Among the colonists, stories of Earth's might and the supreme fleet are told with reverence. Tales of massive ships that can eclipse suns and weapons capable of tearing apart asteroids are shared around dinner tables and in the quiet moments of the night. Yet as days turn into weeks with no sign of Earth's intervention, a heavy question hangs in the air. Has Earth forsaken us? But unbeknownst to the residents of New Haven, far across the star-studded expanse, Earth has not turned a blind eye. The United Earth Space Command, upon receiving the fractured distress signals, springs into action. From the heart of Earth, a fleet, unlike any other, dubbed the Supreme Fleet, is being assembled. Commanded by the legendary Admiral Sylvia Hayes and the ingenious tactician Commander Rajiv Singh, this fleet represents the pinnacle of human ingenuity and the unyielding spirit of Earth's commitment to its people. This is the story of a siege, of isolation and resilience, of a call that traverses the void to unite a species under the banner of survival. This is the story of humanity's response when they thought no one would come. This is the testament to Earth's supreme fleet taking the stage, not just to defend, but to affirm that no star is too distant, no night too dark, and no call for help goes unanswered when it comes to their own. As we venture into this epic saga, remember, dear listener, that in the vast, often cold universe, the warmth of human hope burns the brightest. Join me as we unfold the tale of New Haven, the Krilzar threat, and Earth's monumental crusade across the stars to a stage where destiny itself awaits. As dawn broke over New Haven, the sky was streaked not with the rosy hues of sunrise, but with the ominous glint of alien ships descending like specters. The first volleys from the Krilzar fleet were precision strikes, designed to cripple the colony's communications and defense capabilities. Each blast, a concussive symphony of light and sound, shattered the morning calm and heralded the beginning of a relentless assault. The commander of the Krilzar fleet, General Varnix, watched, with cold satisfaction from the bridge of his flagship. His scales shimmered with a hue of victory as his eyes, predatory and unblinking, surveyed the chaos below. Varnix, a seasoned war leader known for his ruthless tactics and strategic acumen, had orchestrated numerous successful campaigns against other species. Humans, he believed, were no different. just another enemy to be subdued under the might of the Confederacy. On the surface of New Haven, the reality of their isolation hit hard. With their primary communication towers in ruins, the colony's administrative council struggled to maintain order and coordinate a defense. Among them, Mayor Elena Mirova emerged as a beacon of strength. She rallied her people, urging them to stand united and fight with whatever means they had. Makeshift barricades began to rise, and every able-bodied man and woman prepared to defend their home, turning tools and agricultural equipment into weapons of necessity. In the midst of this turmoil, a story of personal bravery unfolded. Lieutenant Michael Chen, a former pilot of Earth's interstellar navy and now a New Haven colonist, took charge of a group of volunteers. They commandeered the few remaining defense drones, setting up a last-ditch network of aerial surveillance and counterattacks. Chen's knowledge of military tactics and his unyielding resolve turned him into a local hero, embodying the colony's determination to survive against overwhelming odds. The days that followed were a blur of skirmishes and setbacks. The Krillzar unleashed a menagerie of war machines, giant mechs that stalked the landscapes, and agile fighter crafts that dominated the skies. Each encounter with the enemy left the colonists more drained and desperate, yet their spirit of resistance grew fiercer with every attack. Stories of bravery, the teacher who saved her students by hiding them in the caves, the farmer who took down a mech with just a rigged tractor, became the lifeblood of the colony's morale. Back on Earth, the news of New Haven's plight had finally broken through the layers of bureaucratic inertia and media blackout. Images of burning fields and shattered communities flooded the news, igniting a firestorm of public outcry and support for the beleaguered colony. This swell of emotion and solidarity reached the highest levels of government, where debates raged over the best course of action. The time for deliberation was swiftly overtaken by the urgency of the situation. Admiral Hayes, known for her decisive leadership, stood before the assembly of the United Earth Space Command, her voice steady but filled with an undercurrent of fury. "We are guardians of humanity, irrespective of the star under which our people reside," she declared. "New Haven may be light years away, but their cries for help resonate here, in this very room. We mobilize now, or we fail not only them but the very ideals we've vowed to uphold." The decision was unanimous. Earth would send its supreme fleet to New Haven. The gears of war were set in motion, not just as a show of might but as a demonstration of Earth's unbreakable vow to defend its citizens, wherever they might be. As the fleet prepared to depart, a wave of resolve swept over the commanders and crew alike. This was not just another mission, it was a pledge to bring their people home, to turn the tide against an enemy that thought no one would come. Back on Earth, the corridors of the United Earth Space Command UESC buzzed with a mix of urgency and controlled chaos. News of New Haven's siege had finally pierced the veil of interstellar communication delays, bringing with it a torrent of strategic planning and fervent preparations. At the heart of this storm stood Admiral Sylvia Hayes, a veteran of space warfare whose reputation was built on both her unyielding courage and her compassionate leadership. Alongside Admiral Hayes was Commander Rajiv Singh, a tactical genius whose innovative strategies had saved countless lives in past conflicts. Together, they formed a formidable team, each complementing the other's strengths, unified in their resolve to rescue New Haven. Their first task was to assemble a fleet capable of facing the Krillzar Armada, a fleet that would be known as Earth's Supreme Fleet. The Supreme Fleet was to be a show of force and a beacon of hope. It comprised some of the most advanced warships in the human arsenal, including the flagship, the UESC Indomitable, equipped with experimental weapon systems that had never been tested in actual combat. The fleet also included a series of support vessels from medical ships to engineering corps, ensuring that the fleet could sustain itself in prolonged engagements. In the UESC war room, Admiral Hayes addressed her assembled officers. "This mission isn't just about military might. It's about making a statement," she said. "The Krilzar believe they can fracture human spirit with their blockades and their bombardments. We are going to show them that human spirit is indomitable. We stand united, and we fight not just for New Haven but for the principle that no human colony stands alone." As the fleet prepared for departure, news crews and media outlets from around the globe covered the event, broadcasting images of the massive ships powering up, their engines casting brilliant light against the backdrop of Earth's orbit. The public's response was overwhelming. Support poured in from every corner of Earth and its colonies. People sent messages of hope and solidarity, and vigils were held in cities and towns, with citizens looking up to the stars, praying for the safety of the fleet and the colonists. Meanwhile, Commander Singh meticulously planned the route to New Haven, aware that time was a luxury they did not have. Using a series of hyperspace jumps, the fleet aimed to reach the besieged colony in record time, but without compromising their strategic advantage. Singh's plan included contingencies for Krilzar ambushes and devised clever feints to mislead the enemy about their true numbers and capabilities. Training sessions and drills were conducted during the journey, with Admiral Hayes and Commander Singh visiting different ships, speaking to the crews and ensuring that morale remained high. "Remember, each one of you is the tip of the spear," Hayes would say. "But more importantly, you are the shield that protects our people." Special attention was also given to non-combatant staff aboard the fleet. Medical teams were briefed on potential alien technologies that could cause injuries previously unseen by human medics. Engineers reviewed battle damage protocols, ready to repair and maintain the fleet under fire. As the fleet neared its destination, a final briefing was called. The mood was tense but determined. Admiral Hayes and Commander Singh outlined the battle strategy, emphasizing the importance of protecting civilian areas and prioritizing the safe evacuation of the colonists. "The Krilzar have shown us their version of war," Commander Singh stated, his voice resolute. "It's time for them to see ours. Not just our weapons, but our resolve. We fight as one for all of us. Let's bring our people home." With the fleet ready and the strategy set, Earth's response was clear and imminent. As the Supreme Fleet made its final preparations to drop out of hyperspace near New Haven, every member aboard knew the gravity of the task ahead. They were not just fighting for a strategic victory, but for the very ethos of humanity, a testament to their unity and resolve in the face of existential threats. As they approached the battlefield, the vast expanse of space seemed to hold its breath, awaiting the arrival of Earth's defenders, a fleet that came not a moment too soon. As the Supreme Fleet hurtled through the void between stars, the enormity of space seemed to shrink before the might and determination of Earth's resolve. The fleet, a silvery stream of technological marvels, was more than a collection of ships. It was a carrier of hopes, a bearer of the collective human spirit. The journey to New Haven was punctuated by brief stops in hyperspace, necessary for recalibrating navigation systems and allowing the crews brief respite. During these moments, the vastness of the universe imposed itself upon all on board, a stark reminder of the challenges they faced. The star-studded darkness outside was beautiful but unforgiving, a canvas of cosmic wonder that held both the promise of adventure and the peril of oblivion. Commander Rajiv Singh, working closely with his navigation teams, orchestrated each jump with precision. "Every second we shave off our travel time is a second gained for those under siege," he reminded his team regularly. His strategy involved not just speed, but stealth, weaving through lesser-known hyperspace routes to avoid any potential Krillzar scouts. Meanwhile, Admiral Sylvia Hayes took it upon herself to ensure that the morale aboard the fleet remained high. She understood that the mettle and might of ships were only as good as the souls who manned them. To this end, she organized intership communications, sharing stories of New Haven's resistance and the importance of their mission. Virtual gatherings were held, where crew members from different vessels could connect, share their fears and hopes, and reinforce their bond as a unified force. One particularly moving story that circulated among the ships was that of a young engineer, Anna Petrov, who had volunteered for the mission despite her family being among the besieged on New Haven. Her courage and determination to save her loved ones and her colony became a symbol of the personal stakes involved for many within the fleet. As the Yao ships navigated the silent expanse, the fleet's chaplains and counselors were constantly available, providing support and guidance. Spaces were designated within each ship where crew members could reflect, meditate, or just talk. The gravity of their task was immense, and managing the psychological and emotional well-being of the crew was paramount. The fleet also conducted several drills, simulating various battle scenarios. These drills were not just exercises in readiness, but also served to solidify team dynamics and operational efficiency. Admiral Hayes and Commander Singh frequently reviewed the performance of these drills, fine-tuning their approach and tactics based on the outcomes. Technological preparedness was equally critical. The fleet's engineers were in a constant state of vigilance, monitoring the integrity of the ships and the functionality of their advanced weaponry. Innovations, some untested in the field, were now being calibrated for maximum effect. The flagship, UESC Indomitable, housed the prototype of a quantum beam cannon, capable of disrupting the molecular cohesion of targets. Its successful deployment could turn the tide of battle, but its complexity required precise handling. As the journey progressed, the fleet approached the outer markers of the Krillzar defense grid around New Haven. Commander Singh's strategy to use stealth was about to be put to the test. The fleet reduced its emission signatures, moving more cautiously as they neared enemy space. Admiral Hayes addressed the fleet over the communication system as they prepared for the final leg of their journey. "This is it," she began, her voice resolute and clear. "Beyond this point lies our test, not just of our ability to fight, but of our resolve to stand up for what we believe in. Remember, we do not just carry weapons, we carry hope. We are the shield and the sword, the protectors of humanity's light against the darkness. Let's make sure that light shines brightly today." With those words, the fleet readied itself for what was to come, each member prepared to do their part in the upcoming battle. The final approach was a quiet affair, as stealth and precision took precedence over the roar of engines. The vastness of space around them seemed to hold its breath, awaiting the moment Earth's supreme fleet would take the stage in a battle that would decide the fate of New Haven and perhaps, in a larger sense, the future of human dignity against the encroaching shadows. As Earth's supreme fleet approached the periphery of New Haven's star system, the war room on the flagship UESC Indomitable became the nucleus of intense activity. Maps of the star system, real-time scans of enemy positions, and simulations of potential battle scenarios were displayed on the vast holographic screens, painting a picture of the imminent challenge. Commander Rajiv Singh, with a calm yet focused demeanor, laid out the battle strategy to his team of strategists and ship captains. The plan was complex, involving multiple phases and contingent on precise timing and coordination. "Our primary objective," Singh explained, "is to disrupt the Krillzar fleet's formation and create a breach for our ships to deliver ground support to New Haven. We need to engage them in a way that draws them out, thinning their line around the colony. The strategy involved several deceptive maneuvers. Initially, a small contingent of agile frigates would feint an attack on the Krilzar's flank, drawing their faster ships away from the main group. Meanwhile, the main body of the Supreme Fleet would use the distraction to close in on the weaker section of the enemy's line. Admiral Hayes, overseeing the briefing, added, "Once we've broken through their perimeter, our second phase will commence. This involves deploying our Marines and mechs to the surface to assist the colonists and start pushing the Krilzar ground forces back. Air and space superiority in the sector is crucial. Without it, our troops on the ground will be exposed." Technological superiority was to play a crucial role in the battle. The fleet's engineers had equipped several destroyers with EMP, electromagnetic pulse cannons, capable of disabling the Krilzar ship's electronic systems temporarily without causing permanent damage. "These EMP strikes will be pivotal," noted one of the fleet's chief engineers during the meeting. "They'll give us a window to strike hard and fast without significant return fire." Admiral Hayes emphasized the importance of minimizing casualties, both human and alien. "Our goal is to neutralize the threat, not to annihilate. We will offer the Krilzar forces the chance to surrender once their command structure is disrupted. This battle is about liberation, not destruction." The fleet also prepared for the Krilzar's known capabilities, such as their advanced cloaking technology. Specialized sensor arrays had been fitted on several reconnaissance vessels to detect the faint energy signatures that cloaked ships tended to emit. "It's a game of cat and mouse with these cloakers," said Commander Singh. "Let's make sure we're the cat." As the final preparations were made, Admiral Hayes held a fleet-wide communique. "Today we stand at the precipice of a defining moment not just for New Haven, but for all of humanity. Each of you has trained for scenarios like this, but more than that, you carry the spirit of our species. A spirit unbound by fear, undeterred by the darkness. Let's light up this sector with our resolve." The fleet, now fully briefed and prepared, moved into position. The ships spread out in a calculated formation, each unit aware of its role and the part it played in the larger strategy. The tension was palpable, but so was the determination. Each crew member, from the gunners to the pilots, from the engineers to the medical teams, was ready to execute their duties with precision. As the first wave of ships began the feint, the Krilzar fleet reacted predictably, shifting their formation to counter what they perceived as the main threat. This movement was exactly what Commander Singh had anticipated. With a nod from Admiral Hayes, the rest of the fleet surged forward, initiating the battle that would mark Earth's resolute stand for its people and principles. In the vastness of space, lit only by distant stars and the imminent flashes of combat, Earth's Supreme Fleet took the stage. Their mission was clear, their resolve unshaken. The battle for New Haven was not just a fight for survival, but a declaration of humanity's unyielding spirit and its unbreakable bond with its farthest reaches. The battle for New Haven unfolded with a ferocity that echoed through the cosmos. As the first wave of Earth's Supreme Fleet engaged the Krilzar flank, the vastness of space was illuminated by the fierce exchanges of plasma fire and the pulsating glow of EMP bursts. The feint executed by the agile frigates successfully drew a significant portion of the Krilzar forces away, allowing the main fleet to breach the enemy's perimeter defenses. Commander Rajiv Singh, watching from the command center of the UESC Indomitable, coordinated the assault with surgical precision. As the main fleet penetrated the Krilzar lines, the scene was one of calculated chaos. Earth's ships maneuvered through enemy fire, their movements a dance of death and defiance, choreographed by necessity and honed by training. Admiral Sylvia Hayes, her voice a calm constant over the comm system, directed the fleet's larger vessels to target the Krilzar's capital ships. These behemoths, bristling with armaments, posed the greatest threat to the fleet and the ground forces. The battle's intensity escalated as Earth's destroyers unleashed volleys of quantum torpedoes designed to pierce through the heavy armor of the alien warships. Simultaneously, special operations teams aboard stealth shuttles breached the atmosphere of New Haven, descending towards the colony to assist the beleaguered defenders. The ground phase of the battle commenced as these teams, comprised of elite Marines and combat engineers, landed and began their operations. Their mission was critical: to secure key positions, disrupt Krilzar ground communications, and facilitate the safe evacuation of civilians. On the surface, Lieutenant Michael Chen and the colonists received the reinforcements with a mix of relief and renewed vigor. The sight of dropships bearing the insignia of Earth's Supreme Fleet bolstered their spirits immensely. Together, Earth's forces and the colonists launched counteroffensives, targeting the Krilzar's mechanized units that had laid siege to major population centers. The space above New Haven was a spectacle of strategic brilliance and raw power. Commander Singh implemented a series of hammer and anvil tactics, with smaller, faster ships harrying the Krilzar vessels into the firing lanes of Earth's heavier cruisers. Each successful strike was a testament to the fleet's training and the effectiveness of their pre-battle simulations. Despite their technological superiority, the Krilzar were not prepared for the tenacity and ingenuity of human forces. Their cloaking devices, which had given them the upper hand in initial skirmishes, were now less effective against the specialized sensors deployed by the fleet. One by one, cloaked Krilzar ships were revealed and neutralized, their advantage evaporating under the relentless pursuit of Earth's tacticians. In one pivotal moment, the UESC Indomitable faced off against the Krilzar flagship. The encounter was a clash of titans, with both ships suffering significant damage. Admiral Hayes, undeterred, maneuvered her ship into a risky position that allowed the quantum beam cannon to fire directly at the enemy's power core. The shot, a brilliant lance of destructive energy, crippled the Krilzar flagship, sending it adrift and leaderless. With their flagship disabled and chaos spreading through their ranks, the morale of the Krilzar fleet began to falter. Seizing this opportunity, Admiral Hayes broadcast an offer of surrender to the remaining Krilzar ships. "Cease your hostilities, and you will be treated with the honor due to any defeated foe. Continue, and you face not just your defeat, but your destruction." Faced with the coordinated might of Earth's Supreme Fleet and the indomitable spirit of the New Haven colonists, many Krilzar commanders chose to surrender, their will to fight broken by the unanticipated resilience and strategic acumen of their opponents. As the last of the Krilzar forces capitulated, the skies over New Haven cleared, revealing the stars once more, not as harbingers of doom but as symbols of hope and victory. The battle was won, but the war was not just about reclaiming a besieged colony. It was a declaration that humanity would not only endure, but also prevail against any who dared threaten its unity and freedom. The victory at New Haven was a turning point, a testament to Earth's commitment to its people and its readiness to defend its ideals across the stars. It was a victory celebrated not with revelry but with reverence, a respect for the cost at which it had come and the peace it promised to bring. As the dust settled over the once besieged colony of New Haven, the aftermath of the battle revealed both devastation and relief. The Supreme Fleet, although victorious, had suffered losses. Ships bore the scars of combat, and many brave souls had paid the ultimate price. However, the mood was primarily one of triumph and profound gratitude as the Krilzar forces, now prisoners of war, were secured and their weapons deactivated. Admiral Sylvia Hayes and Commander Rajiv Singh, along with their senior staff, conducted a meticulous review of the operation, debriefing with each ship's crew and ground forces. lessons were learned and recorded for future encounters, ensuring that the sacrifices made were not in vain and that the same errors would not be repeated. On the ground, the reunion of families and friends marked emotional scenes across New Haven. Tears of joy and relief flowed freely as the colonists embraced their liberators and each other, their bond strengthened by the ordeal they had endured. Lieutenant Michael Chen, hailed as a hero among the colonists, led efforts to rebuild and restore essential services, his leadership now as vital in peace as it had been in war. The victory was not without its moral complexities. Admiral Hayes organized a series of dialogues between Earth's representatives and the captured Krillzar commanders. These talks were aimed at understanding the motivations behind the Krillzar attack and negotiating terms for a lasting peace. It was clear that for a genuine resolution, both sides needed to address their prejudices and fears. In the broader sphere of human territories, news of the victory spread quickly, igniting celebrations and a renewed sense of security among the colonies. The story of New Haven's resistance and Earth's decisive response was broadcast widely, becoming a symbol of human resilience and military prowess. This event significantly boosted morale and unity across human-controlled space, reinforcing the narrative that no colony stands alone under Earth's watch. However, the battle's impact extended beyond immediate military and political consequences. It stirred a deeper reflection within human society about the nature of their expansion into the cosmos and their relationships with other sentient species. The necessity of maintaining a strong defense was balanced with a call for diplomacy and understanding, sparking debates on the future direction of human interstellar policy. Admiral Hayes addressed the Interstellar Assembly, her speech broadcasted across countless worlds. Let this victory not just be a testament to our strength but also a beacon of our willingness to defend and dialogue, she stated. We must build bridges as diligently as we build our fleets. We must learn from our encounters, forging pathways to peace that are as robust as our strategies for war. As reconstruction efforts on New Haven progressed, the colony became a symbol of the new doctrine of Earth's interstellar relations. Investment in defensive technologies was matched with equal fervor for diplomatic missions and cultural exchanges. The former battlegrounds were converted into memorials and museums, educating future generations about the costs of war and the value of peace. The aftermath of the battle thus sowed the seeds for a hopeful future, one where humanity could grow, not only in might but also in wisdom. The echoes of the conflict faded into a determined pursuit of unity, both within human society and among the stars, ensuring that the legacy of New Haven would be remembered, not just as a fierce battle, but as a turning point towards a more harmonious coexistence in the galaxy. As the echoes of the battle over New Haven slowly recede into the annals of history, the story of Earth's supreme fleet and the brave colonists remains a vivid testament to the resilience and spirit of humanity. This saga, marked by valor and strategic brilliance, serves as a profound reminder of our capacity to face overwhelming odds and emerge victorious. In reflecting on the events at New Haven, it is essential to recognize not just the military achievements, but also the human stories of courage, sacrifice, and unity. It is these stories that truly define our journey through the stars, illustrating our inherent drive to protect, persevere, and prosper. As we look to the future, let us carry forward the lessons learned from New Haven. The importance of solidarity among our colonies, the value of preparedness, and the indispensable need for empathy and diplomacy in our dealings with alien races. These lessons should guide us as we navigate the complexities of an expanding human frontier. Moreover, let this chapter in our history remind us of the power of hope. When the colonists of New Haven felt abandoned, when the darkness of space seemed impenetrable, it was hope, fortified by the swift actions of Earth's fleet that illuminated their darkest hour. It is this hope that will continue to light our path as we forge new alliances and face new challenges. In conclusion, the story of New Haven is not merely one of conflict. It is a narrative of coming together, of forging unity from the furnace of adversity. It is a call to all of humanity to remember that no matter how vast the universe, no matter how isolated we may feel, we are never truly alone. Together, under the banner of shared purpose and mutual respect, we can face any challenge and turn the tides of destiny. Thank you for joining me in recounting this remarkable journey. As we cast our eyes to the stars, let us move forward with the wisdom of the past, the knowledge of our strength, and the unquenchable fire of human spirit that burns ever bright. Together, we continue to write our story in the cosmos, a story of endless possibilities and enduring hope.